Greetings of the day and very warm welcome to our dignitaries over here, respected Principal Dr. Sharat Pulari sir. Myself, Nandini Roy, Professor of Rooms Division Management from Thakur Institute of Hotel Management and Thakur Shamnaran Degree College. I feel extremely privileged and honored to be given this opportunity to welcome Dr. Sharat Pulari sir, Principal of Thakur Shamnaran Degree College. It brings me immense pleasure and pride to talk about our Honorable Principal Sir on National E-Conference inauguration organized by Thakur Institute of Hotel Management and Thakur Shamnaran Degree College. I feel proud and extremely overwhelmed to be a part of this esteemed institute where we are not only taught within the four walls but also beyond. All the credit goes to the dynamic and inspirational personality of our beloved principal sir who made the learning and working in a more fun and in an interactive way. Our principal sir has 21 years experience in teaching as an associate professor, 8 years experience as a principal sir. Sir has organized 28 conferences, 4 research projects completed under Sir's guidance, 6 books and 65 papers published in different national and international journals. Never ends here. Sir also experienced as an NSS program officer and cultural coordinator. Never ends here as Sir was also awarded as the best teacher and the best college by Mumbai University. I am immensely grateful to welcome our dignified principal, Dr. Sharat Pulari sir, for inaugural address. Principal Pulari sir, over to you.
Good morning. Morning is silent, morning is calm, morning is beautiful, but today's morning is more beautiful for the national conference. The dignitaries, researchers, students, and my fellow colleagues, good morning and have a wonderful day. Today, really morning is good and day is wonderful because IQAC and Department of Hospitality Management of Thakur Shamnaran Degree College of Kandivali, Mumbai is serving the feast of knowledge by providing the dishes of entrepreneurial development in National E-Conference. I repeat, today really morning is good and day is wonderful because IQAC and Department of Hospitality Management of Thakur Shamnaran Degree College of Kandivali, Mumbai is serving the feast of knowledge by providing the dishes of entrepreneurship development in National E-Conference. How nice of it! Encompassing theme for today's National E-Conference is entrepreneurship development in relation to unifying ideas like menu development, tourism in India, event planning, beverages with the cocktails, innovations, and quality food production management. Today's national conference is a meeting between researchers, faculties, expert resources, and dear students for common interest of development of pioneerism, capitalism, industrialism, skills in the relation to the hospitality management. It's privilege to hospitality management department of this college to have chief guest for today's conference is Honorable Satish Fernandez sir. Honorable Satish Fernandez sir is excellent in food and beverage management. His expertise in hospitality operations, especially in business side of food like ordering and inventory, managing budgets, planning and costing menus, is par excellence. I would like to say about the Honorable Satish Fernandez sir is excellent in the food and beverage management. His expertise in the hospitality operations, especially in the business side of the food, like ordering and inventory, managing budgets, planning and catering menus, is really par excellence. Of course, Honorable Satish Fernandez sir's role as beverage manager is outstanding. His skills in changing and updating of the drink menu, that is beverages, is unbeatable in the true sense. For today's national conference, the keynote speaker is Honorable Rakesh Roy sir. So today we are having the one chief guest, as I said, Honorable Satish Fernandez sir, and today we are having the keynote speaker is Honorable Rakesh Roy sir. It is worth to mention that Honorable Rakesh Roy sir is superb and magnificent as a food and beverage manager. Really, the Honorable Rakesh Roy sir is superb and the magnificent as a food and the beverage manager. Roy sir means an updated guide to effective management in the catering trade. Roy sir is excellent in all aspects of catering, including all sections of hospitality departments, from large hotels and quantity restaurants to popular industrial and welfare catering, food and beverages. So I would like to say about the riser by the repeated way. Riser means an updated guide to effective management in the catering trade in the very effective way. These two top order experienced personalities definitely guide to the students and faculties who are part of national conference gathering today under the aegis of Thakur Shamnarayan Degree College, especially Hospitality Management Department. Once again, warm welcome to Honorable Satish Fernandez sir, Honorable Rakesh Roy sir, and intelligent faculties of mine with aspiring rising scholars of the hospitality industries. The vigorous and determined efforts are put in for this national conference is by Ashish Nevgi sir as a convener and Nandini Roy madam as co-convener. It is very proud to say that and repeatedly say that the vigorous and determined efforts are put in for this national conference is by Ashish Nevgi sir as a convener and Nandini Roy madam as a co-convener. I would like to add about the Ashish Nevgi sir. The idea of conference and execution of that idea in actualism is wonderful work carried out by perfect eminent convener, and of course that is none other than the Ashish Nevgi sir. His work and dedication is too good to be true. So the work and dedication of the convener Ashish Nevgi sir is dedicated and it is too good to be very true. I would like to come with the Nandini Roy madam. Nandini Roy madam is perfect and eminent for planning as well as execution. As a convener, as a co-convener, her efforts are sterling and the tremendous. So Nandini Roy madam is a perfect and eminent for the planning as well as execution. Very true in the sense. And as a co-convener, her efforts are really sterling, tremendous. I would like to add for the organization, the team of culinary arts and the hospitality studies is always smashing in excellent support for this event. So this event is successful event definitely because of the team of culinary arts and hospitality studies is always smashing in excellence support for every event. Awesome support for this event is provided by Chetan Motwani sir, Gaurav Salian sir, Avinash Bhuse sir, Bilal Madre sir, and of course Mohsina Ansari madam. The team of my fellow colleagues pour their physical energy as well as mental energy. I must mention that governance of the Thakur Shamnaran Degree College by Shri V.K. Singh sir and Shri Rajesh Singh sir is ideal and par excellence. Thakur Charitable Trust and Jagru Singh Charitable Trust means the best responsive system of governance in academic field. Shri V.K. Singh sir, being a chairman of Thakur Education Group, is main support system of this national conference. So, dear participant and my fellow colleagues, for this national conference, I must have to say that the par excellence governance in the academic field is by the Shri V.K. Singh sir as well as Shri Rajesh sir. For the Shri V.K. Singh sir, being a chairman of the Thakur Education Group, it means a main support system of this national conference. The encouragement and blessings of the Shri Rajesh Singh sir means execution of the today's knowledge journey process. So today's knowledge journey process, that is a national e-conference, is due to the encouragement and blessings of the Shri Rajesh Singh sir, who is CEO of the Jagru Singh Charitable Trust. The efforts taken by the hospitality studies students and culinary arts students for this national conference is amazing. So I must have to underline and repeatedly mention that the efforts taken by the students of the hospitality and the students of the culinary arts is really amazing. Let us hope the best knowledge gaining day as national conference on entrepreneurship development today on the 20th December 2021. Thanking you, wishing best to everyone for the day ahead.
A big thank you to our dignified principal, Dr. Sharad Pulari sir, for such a great inaugural address. Thank you so much, Pulari sir. Now, as I mentioned earlier, we have with us our dignified resource person, our chief guest, Mr. Satish Fernandez, Executive Assistant Manager, Sun and Sun Hotel Private Limited. I will not take much time at all and invite Mr. Fernandez, our chief guest, to give a view on entrepreneurship development. Sir, over to you.
Good afternoon, all. My name is Satish Fernandez. I am the EM Food and Beverages at Finance and Hotel, Juhu, Mumbai. Uh, Today, it gives me really immense pleasure to address the topic entrepreneurship development to the aspiring students uh, of hotel management. Again, a warm welcome to all. As I told, today's topic is entrepreneurship development. So, what is entrepreneurship? An entrepreneurship is an individual who creates a new business, bearing most of the risk and enjoying most of the reward. The entrepreneur is commonly seen as an innovator, a source of new ideas, goods, services, and business When you become an entrepreneur, the risk-taking options are the higher because you are not working for anyone over here. You are working for yourself. Now, an idea, a business plan. Now, obviously, when you become an entrepreneur, you need to become an entrepreneur. You should have an idea or a business plan which you need to put forward to the person who is going to sponsor your plan. Now, as an entrepreneur, you will be expected to share your vision of your business plan to attract investors. Investors are people who will finance your project, your business idea, of course, in return for some profit. Now, obviously, when you invest, if, for example, an amount in a bank, you specifically take a FD. So, why are you taking FD? Obviously, to gain some interest out of it or a profit over here. Fine. So the very first thing when you start a business plan and if you are planning to show it to your financier, the very first thing you need to have an idea or a plan, which you already do. Now what to get this plan, you need to have an aim to achieve something. Now you made an aim to achieve. Now how will you achieve that aim? So what are the requirements to achieve that idea or the plan which you have jotted down on a paper, on a word file? Fine. So obviously the finance, the space that you require and the workforce that you require to manage your entire show. Now these are some things which are being asked by our investors. It also has a blueprint of your vision. It helps you to show that what you have in your mind and how you want to achieve your goal. Now after having entire business plan, you show it to your financier or the sponsorer who readily accepts the plan. Obviously a person, a financier obviously see what profit is going to get, then only he will invest in your plan. Now as we are learning about entrepreneurship development, I am taking the concept three frogs which was being started. A three frog is a launch bar with a worldwide cuisine which is in South Africa. As you can see, when you planned out the three frogs or whatever plans that you have to open up a bar or a restaurant or a world cuisine, international cuisine. So what all things you need to plan? The very first thing, the concept. That what you want, a bar, a restaurant. Over here, they offered menu which had Indian, Oriental, Italian, and Mediterranean cuisine. Now over here, the location matters the most because if you have a vegetarian clientele, you need to have a vegetarian. If you have a non-vegetarian clientele, obviously you have a vegetarian menu, but more of non-vegetarian on your menu. But over here, the concept was more of 65% of vegetarian because the clientele that they got was veg clientele or vegan clientele. The outer part of the launch will be available for smokers if we have one. Now, when you plan up a restaurant or a bar, obviously you will have a smokers coming in. So, if you have an extra space, why not have a smoking area or a separate area where only smokers can dine? But obviously, it should have be an open air restaurant. Now over here, you need to plan your restaurant opening and closing timing. So over here, they planned out it used to be open from 12 in the afternoon to 3 in the afternoon for lunch. Then from 7 till the closing time, that was 12 or 1 o'clock for the dinner. If the restaurant works out very well, obviously you can plan out to menu as well. Then we can have a DJ music being played depending on number of days that you plan. Then various kind of bands performing, especially during Sunday brunch when people want to have a chill out time with their families, so they come during Sundays. The brunch starting from 11 to 3 in the afternoon, so you can have a live band. Then the uniform, a classic uniform which regularly includes your chef coat and pant for the chef if they are on the live counter. Then comes your waiting staff wearing the classic is your waistcoat, bow, white shirt, black pant. But nowadays, the trend has changed. You can even have t-shirts and jeans, so it will look more of casual theme restaurant. Theme nights like karaoke nights, hoteliers night, jazz evening, beer and wine nights, fruit cocktail nights, happy hours. Whatever comes to your mind and you think that the ideas can work out and it can pull more customers. then obviously you can have any kind of night. A wine cellar showcasing a variety of wines with wine pairing and wine diners would be offered. At least 4 to 6 beers on tap will be available at competitive rates. A merchandise shop selling exclusive copyright-free products like T-shirts, coffee mugs, glassware, crockery, etc. will be available to take as a souvenir. There would be interesting nights and events planned throughout the week to assure the guests do not get bored and look forward to come to our establishment regularly. Now there is a personal data that you have about 5,000 guests which you can mail it during your launch time of your restaurant. And obviously this various nights that you plan or the 2 nights, it should be regularly posted to your guests so that if they want to come, they know what is your event plan calendar and they can make their plans accordingly. We will constantly strive to keep the concept fresh by doing promotional activities, various types of activities where people don't get bored and they visit your restaurant again and again because obviously the competition regarding restaurants and lounge bars are many in the market. So how you keep yourself alive in that activity? Now the concept refrog. You can see the interiors of the restaurant and bar, a state-of-art fully equipped bar and imported spirits and liquor, a possibility of converting a section of floors to accommodate dancing for 3 nights and evenings. Obviously, your entire floor is being used for a restaurant, but just think if that area can be converted into a DJ floor during weekends. So you'll get more people and they get attracted towards DJ nights on Saturday. So have it planned in such a way that your area can be converted on to a DJ floor. You can see the wine cellar. If you are focusing more on a wine restaurant, then you can obviously have a wine cellar being promoted in your restaurant. A dining area which can comfortably make you sit 50 to 75 guests at one go. Now, after serving 50 to 75 guests, why not serve more 75 guests to earn more profit? If you have a mentality of serving only one guest on a table, as in only one time, then it will not yield you a great profit. Now you are being an entrepreneur, you think about the profit. So when you have a restaurant, just think once the table is left, you try to serve that guest one more round of guests so that you earn more profit out of one table. So accordingly, if you have 10 tables, from 7 to 9, if the 10 tables are occupied, try to finish the table by 9 o'clock and you have another guest again on those 10 tables. So you had 20 times 20 guests served on 10 tables. So it will earn you more profit. And now after that, if you get more guests, obviously you are doing a great business. There will be theme nights 4 days of the week, being a ladies' night possibly. Generally Wednesday or Thursday being a ladies' night. The theme event would give our clientele a wide range to choose from contemporary jazz, classical Indian music, to variety of folk fare. Now, if you plan to keep a Mexican night, so you have the Mexican food being served to the guests or Mexican alcohol. So why not get some sponsors from an alcohol company specifically during Mexican festival? So, for example, you have some alcohol specifically from Mexico. For example, you have tequila. So have some margarita being served specifically for that night. So it will add to the theme. And obviously, get sponsorship from the tequila brands as well. So the cost will minimize and the profit increases. As I told you, the smoking areas can only be outside as per the law. You can't have an indoor area where you can smoke. So once a guest wants to sit in an open air, if it's a smoking area, the guest is not sitting in the indoor. Indoor area can be furnished well and more guests can be attracted. But what about the outdoor area? So if you are sitting in the outdoor area, how you attract the guests? Because it will be hot or humid in that area. So what are the plans to keep the guests enchanting and live through the entire evening? So you need to plan out the decor as well. How can you decor that area and how can you attract the smokers to that area so that they can smoke and they can even enjoy? Sample of posters we intend to have for our theme night, which can be emailed to our guests. Now the main part comes in the capital expenditure that you need to put as an investment. So this isn't just a fair idea how much amount that you put, but trust me, when you open a big uh, A-grade restaurant, A-grade fine dine restaurant, the expenses are too high. Now the deposit for the space. Now the license fees over here, it does not mean only the alcohol fees. Alcohol license fees are comparatively very high. But the NOCs from the fire department, the municipal department, these are the license fees that you need to keep in mind. This needs to be renewed every year. Then the interiors, expenses that you make on the interiors. Then you have equipment and machinery, the investment that you need to make one time. Then the initial marketing cost to market your product in the local market as well as uh, around 50 kilometers in the radius. These are the capital expenditure. Once the capital expenditure, then you have the monthly expenses that you need to keep in your mind for your regular management. You have this admin and general cost, then you have cost of the food that you need. For example, you need to prepare a dish that you need to serve to the guests. So you need to buy raw materials from the market. So that are the cost of the goods. Then you have the labor costs, which are your payroll costs. Then you have marketing expenses on the monthly basis to make sure that the various things or nights that you keep, it reaches your clientele. Then you have insurance costs, transportation costs, the energy, water, and fuel is your regular uh, heat, light, and power, the regular bills that you generate. Then you have management fees. Then you have rent. If you if you own the space, you need not pay the rent. But what if you are taking the place on a rental basis? So you need to keep that in mind, the cost. Now the last part that you have, once the first month of your restaurant is open, you make a business, you need to make an P&L statement. Now what do you mean by P&L statement? It means a profit and loss statement. Whether you made a profit or you made a loss, you need to know that. Without that, if a business or an entrepreneur cannot succeed. So what all things are there is a capital requirement which we learned about. Expected turnover, keeping in mind the area available for usage only once the location is finalized. Now, once the 1 month of the restaurant is opened and you have done the business, now what you plan to understand whether we made profit or loss. So entire expenses, these are the monthly expenses, you need to jot it down. Then you need to see what is the revenue that you made in that month. So deduct the expenses from the revenue, whatever left over is your profit. So if it is in negative, obviously you have made loss, but that's what the entrepreneurship comes in. You are here to make profit, not loss. Thank you very much for your valuable time and patience. I hope this session was really useful to you all. And in future, the students of hotel management and Thakur Institute of Hotel Management, especially, would succeed to become a best entrepreneur. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, Fernandez sir, for sharing such a useful and important tactic to all of us. The session was wonderful. Thank you so much, sir. As I've also introduced, we have another resource person, our keynote speaker, Mr. Rakesh Roy, Food and Beverage Manager, Hotel Sahara Star, Vilipale Domestic Airport, who will share knowledge and information on entrepreneurship development. Without any ado, I would like to invite Mr. Roy to please give the session on the mentioned topic. Mr. Roy, over to you.
Good morning, everyone. First of all, let me thank Thakur College of Hotel Management to give this opportunity to share some insight on entrepreneur development. Let me first introduce myself. My name is Rakesh Roy, and I am currently working as F&B manager in Hotel Sarastar and taking care of the banquet operation. Just to give you a brief about myself, I did my bachelor's in hotel management from IIHM Kolkata in the year 2000 and joined Taj Lands End as steward in the same year. I worked there for 7 years and then joined Hotel Sahara Star in 2007. And since then I am working here for last 14 years. So my total work experience is 21 years. Now, before I start on today's topic, let's first understand that who is an entrepreneur. An entrepreneur is a person who makes money by starting or running businesses, especially when this involves taking financial risk. Every person at a certain stage of his life thinks to become an entrepreneur, and I am sure from you all as well must have tried to do some business to make some profit. Well, I recollect during my early days, I used to buy firecrackers during Diwali from wholesale market and sell it in my locality to earn some extra perks. So it was a kind of a business where I used to buy at a lesser amount and sell at a higher price to make some profit. So it was just an example. However, to be an entrepreneur in your life, you need to first understand why we need to learn entrepreneur development and what are the skills that is required to become an entrepreneur. Now, what is an entrepreneur development? It's a process of enhancing the skill set and knowledge of entrepreneurs regarding the development, management, and organization of a business venture, while keeping in mind the risk associated with it. Now, next, let's understand the entrepreneur development skills which is required. Now, what are the entrepreneur skills that are required to become an entrepreneur? First is business management skills. So basically, to run a business, you need to have the basic business management skill, which includes multitasking, delegating work and responsibilities, and making critical business decisions. Next point is communication and active listening skill. Every entrepreneur must be able to communicate effectively with clients, team members, and all other stakeholders. Entrepreneurs require good written and verbal communication skill as well. Apart from that, entrepreneur must be excellent listeners to understand the project's requirement and discuss during project meetings. Third is risk-taking skills. Business is all about risk. Until and unless there is no risk, you cannot do business and make profit. So what are the risk-taking skills that is required? Calculated and intelligent risk is one of the essential entrepreneur skills to learn. So you need to be calculative, study the market, and then invest and venture into any business. Employees with an entrepreneur mindset never shy away from taking risks because they understand that calculated risk results in tremendous success. Next is networking skills. Networking involves building and managing relationships with other professionals to grow and promote a business. Effective networking skills open up future opportunities and help build a solid brand. Networking allows entrepreneurs to meet like-minded professionals, build future teams, and stay up to date with industry trends. Next is critical thinking skills. Now, this critical thinking skills helps you come up with logical solutions in a business. Every employer looks for a candidate with critical thinking because it helps solve problems and build strategies for business growth. Next is problem solving skills. An entrepreneur must possess excellent problem solving skills to handle stressful situations and calmly identify alternate solutions. Exceptional problem solving skills ensure they reach their business goal. Next is creative thinking. Creative thinking is the backbone for innovation and it forces employees to think differently. Entrepreneurs with creative thinking skills are never hesitant to try solutions that others may overlook because of fear or failure. Next is customer service skills. Quality customer service promotes the brand and increases the loyalty. Regardless of the industry, excellent customer service skills are essential for business success. Next is financial skills, the most important. The ability to handle resources, assets, investment, calculate the rate of interest is a must for entrepreneurs. Apart from this, they must know how to use accounting and budgeting software to keep track of all the financial processes. By learning financial skills, Entrepreneurs avoid overspending and allocate resources in proper way. Next is leadership skills. Being able to inspire colleagues, empower the workforce, and lead from the front requires excellent leadership skills. An exemplary leader lead by example and can take a leadership role and work as a part of a team. Entrepreneurs with leadership skills motivate their employees, manage operation and delegate tasks to reach the business goal. Next is time management. Effective time management increases the productivity and organizes your workspace. Entrepreneurs with time management and organized skills understand different way to prioritize tasks and ensure timely completion of the project. Last but not the least is the technical skills. Technical skills are hard skills that are gained by using digital tools and software. Entrepreneur must know how to use planning, marketing and budgeting software. Knowledge of software helps in managing projects, tracking sales and allocating a viable budget for the project. So now we have discussed the skills that a person should require to start a business or be an entrepreneur. Now next, let's understand the process which is required for a person to be a entrepreneur. First is, whenever you want to start a business or you have the idea of starting a business, first what we are supposed to do is evaluate and identify the business opportunities. Now for example, in last 1.5 years during this COVID era, there were a lot of new ventures which were started by a lot of people. With lockdown and all these new restrictions coming in, the thing which were in demand, for example mask, we never used to wear mask, but suddenly there are a lot of people who started stitching masks, making masks, different types of masks. Same goes for sanitizer which was in demand. The pharmaceutical company started with all your the products which is required for boosting your immunity. So this is all business ideas which comes as per the opportunities. So we need to learn more about the business and consumers. Next is, we need to have a marketing plan. How you're going to market a product. I have a product, but it has to be marketed well so that we get the right buyer and we can place our product in the right market. And before we do that, we also need to have a consumer survey. For example, suppose I am staying in Ville Parle and my entire neighborhood is full of Jains and vegetarian, and I first think of starting a kebab restaurant with non-veg kebabs and everything. I may do business, but it may not succeed because the majority of the client who are staying in close vicinity are vegetarians. So the demand would be less. So we need to have a consumer survey done to understand the market, what is required, who are our competitors, what others are selling. So this is all about the business ideas what we need to develop before we start an entrepreneur, before we venture to any entrepreneur business. Next is thorough evaluation. Once you have got the idea what business you want to start or establish, you need to evaluate on that. Is the idea worth investment or not? What are the requirements for this product? Do I have a buyer for this product? Is it feasible or not based on its cost? What are the competitive advantage? What are the associated risk factor? And if he or she is competent enough to manage the business. So once we evaluate all these points, next will be our business plan. Now when you are setting your business plan, you have to have a comprehensive business plan, make most of the opportunity, set a vision, goal and objective for the business which you are venturing. Next is the main thing, that is finding resources. First is your locate sources of finance. Finance would be the major resource what you would be required, whether it is a self-funded or you are going for a bank loan. So you need to have all these resources set. Next would be your human and manpower resources. as a person, as an individual, I'm sure you have the idea developed, but at the end of the day, while running the business, you need people and manpower. So you need to source the right people for the right business. Then the process would be to recruit individual as per the skill and the abilities. The next point would be, then you frame the management structure, the reporting structure. So who would be the main person, who would be reporting to whom, so that you can assess your business and come to know what is happening on a daily basis. Once you have established your business and you have started running your business, the last and most important point is you need to plan the future. Okay, today you have started a business, but what is the next plan? How you are going to enhance and increase your business? How you are going to analyze your business performance for the last quarter, half yearly and yearly? And then if you think it's worthwhile, then you need to invest in expansion of your business. So we have discussed about the entrepreneurship skills and the development process, what is required. Now let's understand why entrepreneurship is required. Entrepreneurs create new business. Entrepreneurs add to the national income. Since the GDP gets increased, entrepreneurs create social change. With new technology coming in, the lifestyle and the social society changes can be seen because of new entrepreneurship ventures. And finally, it aids in community development. Many entrepreneurs are actively engaged in CSR activities, which aids in helping the community development. So hereby I sum up the entire presentation, and I hope you have loved listening to it, and hope this will bring some positive changes in your future life. Thank you.
Mr. Roy, such a wonderful session you have gave all of us today, for which actually we all were waiting for. Thank you so much for being here and sharing your tremendous thoughts on this topic. Thanks a lot, sir. We have started the National E-Conference on entrepreneurship development with a well inaugural function addressed by inaugural and resource persons. It's a time to take a short tea break. I would like to request each one of you to join back and be with us for the next session of research